Good evening. My name is Darlene. Thank you for being here. For those of you to find me tonight, I'm here to do some readings, and we'll start the live tonight with a week ahead check-in in love. So bear with me 1 second as I get myself pulled up over here on my other device so I can see the chat. 1 moment, please. And we will get started. Is everybody having a good weekend? How is life? How's life treating y'all? It's crazy over here in my hood. I'm just saying. Okay, there I am. Hey, Erin, how are you? Good evening. Let me post my little message. I got to pin that so I can forget about it and know it's done. There we go. Awesome. Ta-da! So how are you tonight? Erin, what's going on in your world? I've been busier than a one-arm paper hanger over here. It's about to get even busier. I think that lighting is really kind of weird tonight. I don't know if that's any better or worse. That might be a little better for me. Okay. Hey, Nick, how you doing? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday, everybody. Okay, I gotta take a breath. I have not stopped today. Okay, let's start tonight's reading by asking what the week ahead is going to bring us in love. For those of you who want to know. For those of you who don't, go get yourself a cup of tea. I don't know what can I tell you. Misha's here. Hazel, I didn't see your last text message. I saw it come across my screen, but I didn't read it. So maybe I should do that just because, you might have some extra dish for me. Hang on. I got to see what that is. What'd you send me? Yes, King of Cups. Yeah, that is something. Misha and I were texting about a reading that kind of mostly sort of came to pass already. So tarot is such an amazing tool, isn't it? Erin is saying exhausted but peaceful, if that's possible. Absolutely, it is possible. But, peaceful's underrated. Good for you. Good for you. I've been working on that too because I've just got a lot going on in my world right now. I wish you could. No, I don't. I do not mean it. If you could see this room right now, this is a small room anyway, and I've got a lot of workstations in here, but my son is staying here for the weekend, so we managed to squeeze a queen-size bed in here, and it's like I can't move, but it works. It works. Okay, gang, let's see what love is going to send our way this week. What in the world? Get my pen ready there. Okay. All right, Spirit, please show me what's coming toward our collective audience here in the coming week-ish in love. Whoop, conversation of some kind. Okay. Oh, my. All right, now, remember, we do not read gender in tarot, so don't get confused by that. But you are going to be confused. You're going to have choices this week, people. Goodness me. Well, the eclipse is done, but of course, we're still feeling the energy. We know we're already in the energy of Mercury retrograde, so people coming back from the past. We got all these other 6 planetary alignments, stuff, dogs and cats sleeping together, mayhem. The world is coming, not really, to the end. That's a line from Ghostbusters, in case you didn't know. But we got 2 nights and a lot of spoil for choice in the middle. So some of you, I should just stop right there. Some of you really may have 2 people coming this week that you may be having conversations with or some kind of a dalliance with. I'm just saying. All right, let's see. What else you want to tell me about this? Spoiled for choice. Oh my gosh, hang on a minute. I did not mean to do that. I had it backwards, but that's okay. We'll take it. We take flyers. Well, yeah, you may be putting an end to either I hate to speak too soon. You may be putting an end to something. I think you are for sure. Now, I don't know if that means it's one of these relationships. Could be, you could be putting an end to one and saying, I'm working on the other one. And I say that because I have a death card followed by the Eight of Pentacles. Or I think there's one or two of you that's saying, you know, I am just not interested in love and I'm just going to focus on work. I got to tell you, some people, that's kind of where I am right now, I'll be honest. I will be honest. I got so much on my plate, I cannot even think about that. All right, what else? What else? I don't know why my feed is not keeping up here. Okay, so forgive me if I've missed some comments there. It wasn't even playing. Okay, whatever. What else is coming toward my collective? Well, see. Oh, my word. Y'all, I know this is the week of, like I said, these major, what's under that? Major things happening in the astrology. Things that haven't happened in hundreds and even thousands of years. Like the beginning of civilizations kind of energy. And I'm not trying to be overly dramatic. That really is. But look what you've got here. Holy moly. A star holding out hopes, healing, followed by an Ace of Pentacles. Y'all, I'm not used to this good positive energy. How about y'all? What in the Sam Hill? Wow. Wow. All right, yeah. Some of you really are just putting something in the past. Something that some kind of betrayal. You're making a choice. You're making a choice this week. Now, like this, yeah, you're moving. Some of you, this is a real pivotal week for you. I gotta say it. You're making a choice to move forward slowly, cautiously, away from you're being released or releasing yourself away from this toxic devil energy and this energy of deception. I'm just saying, yeah, and going toward a Ten of Pentacles. This is the most unicorns and fairy reading I have maybe ever done here on this channel. What in the Sam Hill? I have no words. Okay, hang on one second, guys. Let me turn this off. One second, now then. I'm just at a loss for words. This is, I don't know. Make-believe tarot, maybe. Transforming. Yes. Now, I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but for somebody out there, this could be saying something you've been wishing for is definitely coming in this week. Now, this is the Ace of Pentacles, means something very tangible, like a, hello, like a big gift from the universe, or again, something tangible in the 3D that you've been hoping for, wishing for. I don't know. This could be anything. This is a love reading, but typically, you know, when we talk about pentacles and you've got two real strong cards of working on something and something new and putting in earthly energy here. This is not airy fairy. We're not just having conversation here. This is a real something you can you can work with. You can sit down. It's earthly energy. It's a real deal. Big deal, too. An Ace of Pentacles. I wish I knew who this was for. Ow. Hang on a second. There we go. Native Love. Hello. Again, I apologize if I haven't said hello to everybody, but a very warm welcome. Thank y'all for being here. And if you would be so kind as to hit that like button, you know, even if you're just dropping in, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. What else is coming toward my collective this week? I mean, I'm trying to find some but energy in here, and so far I don't see it. All right, come on, let's see what else. What else is coming toward my collective in love this week? Okay, let me turn the deck over. Let's see. Okay, did it. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Yep. All right, I could sense that. I knew it was too, you know, when a reading is just too good to be true, it is. but not really. It's more again, remember I said this looks like you're ending something, and here it is. Well, no, I don't have the Ten of Swords. I got the Nine of Swords. But this is finally letting go of stress and anxiety and overthinking and sleepless nights because of, I'm going to read this two ways, because of someone who was manipulative, or you were feeling manipulated by, and you felt like you've lost control at some point, or someone who manipulated you, represented as this Emperor in reverse, somebody who wanted to try to control you. That could very well be. I feel strongly. And it was a very deep hurt here. It broke your heart. This is the heartbreak card in the tarot. So I think, yep. Now, Oh, what? Makes sense, please, Tarot. Makes sense for me. Hey, Nancy, good evening. Good to see you virtually. Okay, now you will have to, as I often tell you, put yourself where it fits in the story, or don't. If it doesn't fit, it's not your story. Real simple. But I'm feeling one of these nights that you're going to hear from. We have two nights here. Again, there's no gender, but I feel like there's two different categories here. One's a Knight of Wands, one's a Knight of Swords. Now, I think this spoil for choice, which could be a good thing, might be, though, and even though I don't have the Six of Cups, I'm feeling some, I don't think you can have this kind of energy if you're not already invested in something, so to speak. And you can't have a Three of Swords with a complete stranger. So this is probably, somebody you've already is broken your heart. You may have, either you have had trouble walking away from this person, or vice versa. That is possible. And somehow, either, because I got two groups of y'all here tonight, either you finally are able to transform and end this with one of these people this week, and you feel like that's a victory in love. Hang on, let me get back over here. Or it could be saying, reverse it, this person who hurt you, who tried to walk away and thought he was hot stuff, he or she, might have tried to just keep you. This might be a case, particularly because I got this Knight of Wands, and he's known for being in and out. Might be a case of somebody who just wanted to keep you hanging on, keep you guessing because of the stuff, the rest of the messages here at the bottom of the deck. Yeah. So the underlying story then, somebody who broke your heart, you had a hard time walking away from, like I said, or vice versa. But now you're feeling like finally I have a victory over where my heart is. And I think this is somebody you just, frankly, you just like said, no mas, no mas. I have no more patience for this situation. I have no more patience for somebody who is not stable and will not invest in me, will not open up their heart for me, will not put in the work. Wait, is that a 10? Yeah. Again, it's not stable. I want something new. I'm ready for something new that I can feel more passionate about. So you're bossing up this week. You're getting strong. You're saying, nope, I'm putting those 10 swords in the past. I'm putting that to rest, so to speak. I feel like this is somebody who you might have been involved with, and maybe they couldn't make a decision or choose. In other words, maybe they were trying to choose between you and someone or something else. And they may be coming back in saying, well, I didn't, I'm sorry, but I don't know. I don't have do I have a Page of Cups? Was that a Page of Cups? Hang on. Because I'm not seeing the apology I'd want to see here. I just see somebody regretting their actions. That's too strong. I'm hearing no, they don't necessarily regret it, but they want to tell you they're ready to make amends. And you're saying, there's the Page of Cups. Because this is, again, I just keep feeling this instability, this in and out. I couldn't count on you. Where were you? You're not my ride or die. You maybe you were hoping this person would commit to you in some way. This is a committed relationship, long term, but it's in reverse. And you're saying, no, I'm not standing one more day and fighting for this relationship. And here comes the apology. And here you are delivering this tower to somebody. I feel like somebody here is getting, one of these two people is getting a tower moment this week from you guys. And they don't see it coming. I don't think they see it coming. You're saying, no, I'm determined and I'm not going anywhere with you, buckaroo. I'm focusing on self-love this week. Yep. Because I know my self-worth. Thank you very much. I mean, it just keeps going. I'm holding back my feelings from somebody this week, going toward what I know is my own happiness and not one of these knuckleheads. Yeah, 5 of Swords, of course, because this person acted very selfishly, did they not? There's the devil. There he is. Yep. So for somebody this week, you got 2 people coming in, or at least 2 communication from 2, I feel. And you're going to be a little confused in the middle of it, thinking, oh, well, it is kind of nice to have choices, but then I think you make up your mind that you're just not going to do, that saying, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And there's that energy here. Although I don't have the 2 of Pentacles, it kind of feels like that, because you're saying, no, something's got to change here. I'm changing it up. I'm focusing on my work, and I'm putting the work in so that I can get better in my world. Or again, like I said earlier, they could be coming in saying, I've changed and I'm ready to put the work in. Might get your hopes up. They might be coming in with a hot offer here. Now, that could be. But again, looking at the bottom of the deck, this causes you stress because I think this is somebody who has manipulated you in the past. So, what do we think about that? Yeah, that's a good question. Is this resonating with anybody out there watching? I mean, it's future, so I mean, not necessarily has happened, but this is real clear. You are this heartache. Wait, I got it backwards. This heartache that you've had a hard time walking away from, you're finally getting victory over it this week. Mm-hmm. Yep. Now, no, I'm not even going to say that. I'm not going to say that. What else? Aaron, is it resonating for you? Thank you for saying. I mean, I'm sorry if it's the bad part of the Three of Swords part, this part that's resonating, and somebody trying to control you. But it sure does look like one of these knights is coming in and saying, "Oh, let's work on this. I got a big new hot offer for you." But this is the underlying energy. I always look at the bottom of the deck. This is the underlying energy. This is somebody that hurt you that you tried to walk away from. And I think for a lot of you, you're saying leaving it in the past, right? Well, this will be an interesting week. What can I say? This will be an interesting week. Now, I'm going to do this. I'm going to add to that. Well, that's right, Mish. And I know that could be for either of us, but just might not be our night. You know, maybe a reading for somebody else. That can't be for everybody, right? To be honest, I hope this one isn't for me. How about you? All right, now I'm going to add to that a little bit since I don't think anybody's requested a reading. So let me add. I think we already know the story, but just for fun. What is the core issue here regarding the collective and their love life this week? What really is the core issue here for them? I haven't used this deck in a long time, and it was calling to me tonight. The imagery is so very beautiful. But it's very shy, as you can see. The cards are not coming out. There we go. Okay, 3 cards. Yep, I love that. The core issue. In other words, what's actually being asked of or addressed or activated or triggered in the essence of the energy that's coming in, the story that's coming in that first reading. Your happiness, like you're saying, this is the Sun, the Queen of Cups in reverse, and the Queen of Pentacles. You're saying, I know my worth. Not only can I take care of myself and provide for myself, I can also decide who I want to give my love to. And this week, I'm going to be very judicious about who I'm going to give that to. I'm going to be sure that it's going to, the decision I make is going to be about me and my personal happiness this week. Good for you guys. That's awesome. That's not selfish. That's self-love is what that is. All right, let's see. Now, what is the potential interference? I think we kind of know, but let's ask. What the heck? We're here. Aaron, how did I learn to interpret tarot? Well, poor Mish has heard this story 100 times. I have a spiritual teacher that I've been with for about 35 years. Now, he never taught me how to read tarot, but he did teach us how to do an intuitive reading. I mean, what I called a cold reading. No tools, nothing. You just learn how to tune into your intuition, and you'd start talking to this person, or you'd have one word and then you do a reading from that one word. And so I was blessed with a lot of practice, 35 years of practice before I actually picked up, well, not quite 30, 33 years or whatever it is, before I picked up a deck of tarot cards. And so I've learned, I taught myself the archetypal meanings of the tarot cards, but you don't have to know that to read tarot. You can just, some readers read just based on the images. And that's different in every tarot deck. Well, some tarot decks. So the meanings can be very different based on just photographs, right? But you can get, and there are also, as a tool, there are decks, for example, like this deck, where they have the meanings of the cards both in the reverse and in the upright. So that's another way you could start to learn. But that being said, when I get asked this question, I always caution people who want to learn tarot. I don't, I want to say this nicely. I'm not saying don't ever read for yourself. I'm saying that understand that if you use tarot to read for yourself, there's this thing called confirmation bias, and you're going to see what you want to see, even if that's unconsciously. So bear that in mind. Okay. I was asking you, what is the interference, or what's distorting or hindering this energy this week? Yeah, because we're tired of waiting. Some of you, some of you, you've been waiting for this for a long time, waiting on your ships to come in, and it just hasn't happened. And remember these cards? I'm having a hard time holding it. Remember these cards when I had them pulled out before? That's the Four of Wands. Some of you have been wanting somebody to commit, or to, come in and at least be acknowledge the relationship in some way. And you're saying, Nine of Wands in reverse, I'm just done waiting. I'm done fighting for this. I'm done holding out, because guess who's back again? This Knight of Swords, who's coming in with this apology, and it's either bringing you a tower or bringing them one. Yep. This is, I think this person, I don't know if this is you or this person, but it's somebody, I feel like it's your person. Somebody who's had a hard time, who's been stuck in indecision for a while. All right. Well, I'm going to ask first, what's the adjustment? What shift do you need to make, collective, in order to take advantage or make the best of this week? Thank you guys for joining me on a Saturday night. For those of you that are here, thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm not normally here on a Saturday night. I'm normally here on Sunday nights. But I have a family thing tomorrow night, so I thought I'd come on here tonight. All right, what is the adjustment or the shift? What needs to happen? Let me say this clearly. And by the way, tarot does not predict the future. It simply shows you the trajectory that you're on. So for those of you who listen to readings or get readings or private readings, please remember that there's nothing is certain. Energy is constantly in flux, and we are powerful creators. I believe in the law of manifestation. So if you're on a trajectory and it's not what you want, you can change that. So just remember. So that's what I'm asking. What small thing can you do to put you on the path for your happiness this week in this current situation? Hope that made sense. I'm squinting. The Storytime Kitchen. I am doing readings, but tonight they're paid readings. I'm not doing a free one tonight because I didn't have as much time and energy. And if you're interested, the link is pinned at the top of the comment section and also in the description box. So thank you. All right. Come on now. Show me what the adjustment is they need to make. I'll turn it over then. Mish, are you the only moderator that's here tonight? I haven't really been paying that close of attention. Hey, Derek, good evening. Lovely to see you, albeit virtually. Okay, come on. So I'm going to shuffle 2 more times. And if nothing comes out, that's my answer. It's basically saying you don't have to do anything. But let's see. 2 more times, 2 more shuffles, Spirit. Let's see. Nope. Spirit is saying no, you're already on the trajectory. I love that. And that, yep, that you need to be on. You're deciding, for some of you, based on remember the previous cards we had, that there's something here that you're not going to invest in anymore. It doesn't, even, that the memories you're holding about it are holding you back. They're keeping you stuck in this mental prison. And you're saying, no, this isn't, you're not my person. I think you're exhibiting a lot of self-love this week, I have to say. Yeah. Page of Swords. Let me see what else is here. Yep. Temperance. 7 of Cups is now in reverse. Well, okay. So I really feel like this is perfect. Yeah, the underlying energy is, I know what I don't need to be investing in for the long term anymore, or what's not willing to invest in me. Yep. Something or someone from your past, or you're thinking about those memories that has been keeping you up in your head. This is analysis paralysis. But I think you're coming to the conclusion for many of you this week that one of those nights that was in the previous reading is not cutting it. And either you're focusing on self-love, or you're saying, no, I'm going to hold. First of all, those were knights. They weren't kings or an emperor. And I think you're saying, no, thank you. I'm holding out for a king. I love myself enough to hold out for a king. I like that. All right. And furthermore, you're saying, I can buy myself roses. In other words, this is a card of celebration. You're kind of celebrating that. All right. Cool beans, guys. I liked that reading. So you guys, let me know if this happens. Come back and put a comment in the video, or in any video. I'll get it. I meant to look at my comments before I came on here tonight, and I did it, but I'll answer them. Probably try to catch up on some of that tomorrow. Guys, thank you again for being here. I appreciate y'all. This is not a free reading night. Maybe, hopefully next week, I'll be able to come back and do that. I don't do it every time. I do some free readings. I do that because I like to give, but can't do it every time. So, and Mish, I don't think anybody has let me put on my glasses instead of squinting. Hang on a second. Has requested a reading that I'm aware of. Marlo, hey. It did read for you, Marlo? That's what you're saying? It kind of resonated for you? Well, it's time. I really think, like I said, I'm not an astrologer, but I know there's some big things happening in the astrology from now to the end of February, actually, especially right now. I mean, literally right now. And I think, many of us are just getting clarity. We're shutting doors. We're opening doors for ourselves, all that good stuff. And so I know I am. I mean, heck, well, it's a townhouse, but I'm moving, going to be moving. I'm closing next Monday, a week from now. And so big changes for me. My family dynamic has really shifted here in the last month. So yeah, yeah. And I could have worn this. I didn't do it live on Valentine's, but see all these hearts? This is self-love, baby. This is my turn. How about y'all? Give me a thumbs up if you agree. I like that. Thank you for the hearts. Okay, I don't think anybody has, thank you. That's the Storytime Kitchen. Well, and for everybody out there, I'm not being egotistical. I'm saying self-love comes first. We can't really do justice to a romantic relationship if we don't start with us. That's where I'm coming from when I say that. So, okay. I don't think anybody's requested a reading. Does anyone have a question, a generic question, not a personal reading, about anything esoteric or metaphysical, anything like that that you might want to discuss? I am open for that. I, in fact, enjoy that. Let me put this deck back and see what your comments are. There we go. Nobody? Going once? Oh, goodness, Michelle, I'm just still kind of mind blown about your news that you shared with me. That's really amazing. I'm just hoping for the boys, you know. I'm hoping for the boys. Well, sadly, I haven't learned a lot new lately. I've been very distracted with family and health because I'm always on the spot here thinking, what could I talk about? And I'm just looking over here at my shelf as anything that might give me an idea here. My goodness, I didn't even know I had a book about that. That's interesting. I surprised myself. You're saying you felt it was like a test? Ooh. Well, I know we feel that way. That is human nature for sure. But let me hang on, Nancy. I'm going to come back to you in 1 second. Let me pose it differently. So let's reframe it to say that sometimes, especially when we've been through a long journey with that situation like you have, it's particularly difficult. Sometimes we think it's a test or we see it that way, but in actuality, it's spirit showing you how far you've come. Think about that for a second. You would have reacted very differently to that situation even 6 months ago, much less a year ago. I mean, the situation wouldn't have been the same anyway, but I'm just saying. So, how about Miss? You reach around there and pat yourself on the back for a job well done, because I feel like it's kind of a default that we think, oh, the universe is testing me again. Well, no, it's showing you how far you've come. Look what you did today. Okay, let me look at Nancy's message here. Oh my goodness. Nancy's comment is, I had a dream that I saw a white horse and a black horse. A white horse and a black horse was pushing the white horse to the sky and was reunited with 3 more white horses. I think that's a very significant dream. I'm not sure that I am qualified to interpret it. I think, wait 1 second, I was looking to see. I thought I had a book about dream interpretation over here. I've got, I don't see it. Horses are, I don't want to reduce it to this, Nancy, because I think it's a very significant dream, but I don't know that I have the skills to interpret it. But I will tell you what I get off the cuff here, which is horses can represent sexuality, but they can also represent power and speed and direction, like in the Chariot card, for example, and determination. Now, think about the white and the black. In anything, white represents positivity, and of course, dark horse might represent your shadow self. I'm not going to say negative, but it could be, but more your shadow self. And so, when you're saying the black horse, the shadow, let's call it that horse, was pushing the white horse, I think that's very psychologically meaningful, in that it's a metaphor for how we learn. In other words, our shadow side often is what gets us into trouble, but only because it's trying to give us a lesson. It's sometimes pushing us because we're not maybe looking at what we need to look at, or we're not realizing or aware of the lesson that it's trying to show us. If the world was all white horses and goodness, we'd never learn anything. And we're here to grow spiritually. And we grow through our challenges and our lessons. And when we're triggered, that tells us what we need to heal. No matter how deep that is, there's kind of a sliding scale when it comes to hurt and feelings. And so I think that's one interpretation, is that it could be saying that, it could also be representing a specific challenge that you've had around some of the themes that I suggested that horses represent. And because then they're going up to the sky, right? You're saying be reunited with 3 more white horses. It could be something too, like excuse me. So sorry. Because you clearly have more white horses and you've only got that one dark horse. A triumph over something that has come from you, been a shadow part of you. In other words, something you need to heal. It could be a triumph over that, right? I think it's a very positive dream, and I'm sure there's more to be made of it. It seems quite significant, but I just wish I had more I could enlighten you on where that's concerned. Pardon me, so sorry, y'all. Misha, you talking about Nancy or your situation? You're saying it seemed like the reading pointed to letting the past go so the King of Cups can come in. Your reading, I think you're referring to. Yes, yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think that's accurate. And again, just what I was saying, and you needed to know you were over that. You needed to know that you've conquered that devil card, right? That we're talking. Misha and I are discussing a reading that we did last week. Not tonight, by the way, if that's confusing for you guys. Yeah, I got it. I was a little slow in the uptake. Yes, exactly. You're like, are you ready? I just read your comment. Mm-hmm. Have you overcome that? Yes. Have you overcome that devil, that toxic energy? And yeah, are you ready? And so universe, now you know you are. Now you face the demon, so to speak, because That's the only way we really know, is when we face our demons, whether that's within us or another person standing in front of us, right? So you definitely have. Nancy's saying, I've heard that it's important on how you feel in your dreams. Very true, very true. I didn't feel scared in any way when you saw the black horse helping the white one. I agree, because when I tune into that, it doesn't feel, it feels, again, I think it was quite significant, like a meaningful dream, not just a casual dream. And I think it was very positive. I agree, Nancy. Absolutely. Jacob, how in the world are you, love? I apologize, I haven't responded to your comment. I just said a minute ago I'm going to try to catch up on that tomorrow. My son has been here all week since Thursday, and I just try to spend what time I can with him when he's here. So I'm not working a whole lot when he's here, if at all. Mish, I mean, you two on the, yeah, Misha's agreeing with me, Nancy, on the dream. It just feels like a very significant dream. And I would suggest even go online. You don't believe everything you read online, of course. It has to be said. But I would go online and research, what do horses represent in dreams, and see what that says if you want to dive a little bit more with that. Cool. No, exactly. I don't think it was random either. I think it was very meaningful. So, kind of, what are you going through in life, Nancy? Are you making any? Do you feel like you've been faced recently with something that you overcome? Maybe that would be my guess. Like I said, some aspect of yourself, which we face all the time, don't we, y'all? Gosh, so sorry. Oh, I know what this is. This is the pollen starting to come out. It's been really warm here. I'm in Alabama, and we've had a very warm, pretty much a week long, and already that starts getting me stirred up. So my apology. Forgot to take I try to get off the allergy medicine, during the winter, just to give my body a break. And not start taking it till the pollen starts coming out in the spring. But my body's saying, hey, guess what? We're early. Oh, goodness. Jake, you're saying the pollen is there too? It's because I took my other, medicine, my acid reflux, and why am I coughing? Oh, that's why. Because I was outside earlier running around all day. That would be it. Okay. Well, that was a great question, Nancy. You're saying, I think it's significant since we're all in the year. And I'm glad you said that, because I wonder if I would be curious. It doesn't matter, because it really doesn't matter. But I wondered, did you have that around the Chinese New Year? Maybe, did you have that dream? That would be fun. That would be really something, because yes, it is the year of the horse. For sure, for sure. But I would just do a little bit more research on what horses mean symbolically in your dreams. So, Jake, how are you? What's going on in your world? How are you feeling? How's your mama? How's she doing? Oh, yeah, a little understanding. I did have a fun day yesterday. My son went to work out at my gym. I have a class I go to 3 days a week, and that was fun to have him there, and also fun to how do I say that? he got to see mom, not being a wimp. Can I say it like that? In other words, that's impressive, Mom. We had a good time though. We did. We had a good time. All right, guys, I'm running out of things to stall for. If anybody else have another metaphysical, esoteric, fun question we can talk about tonight? If not, I will go. Actually, I'll start to say, I'm gonna do something. No, I won't. I'll go do laundry. Is what I'll go do. Erin, you had one. Is it a general question? Let me scroll back up here. Not a personal reading question, but let me see if I can scroll. Let's find you up here, Erin. I think. How can you tell when you're in alignment with you're supposed to be, with where you're supposed to be? Things happen without you trying is one of the big ones. I mean, you just don't even have to effort. It just shows up. That's one way. That's the biggest way, in fact. There's really no alignment is not efforting. Alignment is not doing. Now, I'm not saying, we do live in a 3D universe. You do have to take action on things. But the answer to your question specifically is when things come easily. There's no efforting. Alignment is simply a being state. It's a frequency. It's not about running around and chasing your tail or doing or efforting or sweating or whatever. It's about being in a certain frequency. And then this thing just comes to you because you're a match for it. Does that help, Erin? I hope. Jake. I can't read that little print. Let me see here. Thank you, Jake. But didn't you just pay for reading? I owe you a reading. Don't you remember? Advice for Alexis and I. Okay, let me see what deck. I think I still owe you a reading, so you've got to figure out what you want me to do with that. Oh, did we do one? I'm sorry. It's a blur. What deck? For Jacob. Okay. Oh, Mish, bless your heart, sweetie. Thank you. I think sometimes y'all just feel sorry for me. No, you're just incredible supporters. But thank you. Thank y'all. Always, always, always. I keep you in my prayers. Both of you. Let me answer. Oh, good, Erin. I'm glad it does. Thank you. Marlo's saying, do you read just in general or different signs randomly? Well, on my channel, is that what you're asking, Marlo? On my channel, I mainly do Scorpio readings and occasionally some collective readings and twin flame readings. But I also have a long playlist of deceased loved ones because I'm also a medium. And so if I do a little bit of this and that, but I don't, strictly speaking, like a lot of readers, go through the zodiac and do weekly readings like that every week. That's partly because I'm not called to do that, at least this point in time. And secondly, this is more of a part-time thing for me right now until things at least settle down. So I do what I can. Now on the lives, it's just, whoever has a question about whatever, if they're purchasing a reading. Okay, let me see, Jake. Jake is saying her and I have been taking it slow. Okay, like we talked about, I do remember that. Also going by her pace with all of that and trying to keep it slow because we can both get caught up in the moment. Boy, that's an easy thing to do, isn't it? Also, so far we have been online only. Oh, okay. I'm not sure if that's important to know. Well, it might be. It might be. Okay, very cool. Crypto Mag, I have 2, so you would be number 3 to answer you what's in the queue there. And let me see, that pen is not working. Okay. Yeah, I love this, Jake. I'm so proud that y'all are taking it slow. I do remember that much about the reading we did for you. Okay, one second. I'm making a little adjustment here. I'm thinking about how I want to do this for you. Hang on one second. Okay. So I'm talking to my team. So Spirit, we want to know, is there any advice for Jacob in his relationship with Alexis? Please and thank you. And I want to ask in that vein if there is any core issue they need to address, please and thank you. Please and thank you. Yeah, being up in your head, overthinking. Now, this could be a good overthinking. You know, like when you meet somebody and you're so captivated and you can't stop thinking of them. I mean, it feels more energetically like that, frankly. Like about can't function, you're kind of obsessed with them, new love energy, that kind of thing. Which would be a part of the issue of taking it slow. Like, I don't want to take it slow, but I'm gonna. Hang on one second. Yeah, and somebody here is maybe both of you, for all I know. I don't know how she's. Let me finish. There's still an element of really being forthcoming with feelings. No, no, let me change that. With communication, there's something that's not being communicated. It's almost like omission rather than, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just not, I feel like somebody's holding back here. Very likely because of some prior disappointment. That you are still working on healing. Jacob, I feel like this is you, but it could be either way. One of you, and I don't think you know this, or I don't know that you've talked about it, is feeling, how do I say this? Is wondering if the other person is still seeing other people. Like, you know, are they, am I the only one? Are they seeing other people? I don't know. You know, this is very, I think, common. I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but that you or Alexis is, you know, I've been hurt before. I'm not sure, so I'm just gonna hold back. And then secondarily, oh, by the way, I wonder if this person's seeing anybody else. Hey, Joseph, when did you sneak in here? Good evening, sir. How are you tonight? I feel like there is an energy, Jacob, of, and honestly, I think this could be both of you for that matter. Like I have fought enough. I have fought enough, even though you're young, but still. I've had enough conflict. I don't want to have to face the pain of walking away. Like I've, and secondarily, no, I'm going to leave it like that. That's what that feels like. That's what that feels like. Let me get some more flyers here for you. You're saying, yes, that is an issue. I feel her worrying about me truly being hers as well. Okay, well, that's what it definitely looks like. Thank you for confirming that. So let's ask what there, if any, what the interference here would be from this moving forward smoothly. Wants to sneak, yes. Okay. Things that was the moon card. Things that you can't see that are hidden. Yeah. Slow is better, Derek. Absolutely. So what is the potential interference here? I think that's just too many. It is. That doesn't feel right. Please and thank you. What's the potential? Holding this back. I'm going to read this two ways, but remember this obsessive thinking I was talking about? Speaking of obsessions, here's the devil. Now, let me see what's under here. Have I learned my lesson? You're both just second guessing this because of that. Have I learned my lesson? Because, I want to be sure that I've got this new perspective before I start really giving equally giving to this relationship. Because truthfully, I have not 100% moved on from some prior circumstance that you're still feeling. This is the Six of Swords and it's in the reverse, which means you haven't, somebody here, one of you hasn't really moved on 100%. Okay, but that's hard. Gosh, that can take a lifetime sometimes, can't it? I do want to ask about this. I want to get some more on this devil here. Show me what. Now, no, I'm not going to speak. Show me, what is this devil? That was quick. All right. Wow. Wow. A couple of things here. Is this really, am I strong enough to handle this connection? Because this is a perfect match, according to tarot. This is your Emperor and Empress. That's the divine pair, Jacob. And you got the Strength card right in the middle. So I think it's so obsessive. You're so drawn to each other again that it's almost like an addiction. Now, I hope this isn't literal, and that's why I wanted to clarify it, because we know this can mean addictions. Not the case here, I don't think. I think it's, am I strong enough to really, am I ready? Am I strong enough? Because look, you've got this Magician. I can't believe I manifested that. Oh my goodness. But it is telling you, yes, you do. You've got all the resources. So don't be afraid of this. You're strong enough. You got this. Wow. Wow, Jacob. Wow. So this person could be a match for you. Don't say the 2 of Cups. I'm not trying to, you know, get your hopes up necessarily, but this would say this is an energetic match. Holy cow. Mm-hmm. Do you feel a situation or a certain way of life about a life for her, way of life for her, and it feels like it's about, yes. Well, this confirms it right here. That confirms it. That is a divine couple right there. So I feel like this is how I sensed was this is more about obsession, but in a good way. Like I said, you meet somebody new, you get enamored, you can't stop thinking about them. But then it can be a little triggering too, because of what you've been through in the past, and oh my goodness, and have I healed? Am I ready? All of that good stuff. So what small adjustment could Jacob make to make this devil go away? Yes, it is very good news, Michelle. What kind of adjustment could this? Ooh, sorry, I was just, hang on, let me mute this. But I just got a notice about a bunch of emergency vehicles, and my son is out, and I was thinking, where is he? Is that near? Okay, bear with me here while I feel this energy. Well, I mean, honestly, I think it's the same. It's the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, which we know this means, it actually means no movement, but that's not the message. It feels like just a reinforcement of what we talked about when I read for you last week, was just take it slow. Don't over, because again, I'm still feeling somebody here is not healed. Somebody here is not healed. I hate to say that. Yes. And there's a second layer to this. So this could be an epiphany, okay, for somebody, but this is also a truth, having clarity about what? That you're not healed yet. You're still having some regret, remorse about something from your past, maybe about a difficult conversation that happened, and that caused some anxiety, and maybe this is aka being triggered that maybe this person is not going to be attracted to me when we get in person, being triggered that this is someone who's questioning their well, it's about a lack of confidence. Let me put it that way. A lack of confidence and feeling out of control, to be honestly, when it comes to love. So somebody here is just back to these cards. Somebody, I don't know if this Jacob, if this is you or Alexis, or both of you, could be both of you feeling this way. wondering if I have changed, wondering if, or am I deceiving? Oh, hey, Crypto, thank you so much. Thank you very much. I'll put you on the list. Wondering if you're deceiving yourself that the happily ever after is ever going to happen for you. I want to say that's a shared energy between you two. One second. Let me catch up here. Excuse me. Crypto. Okay, I can't write. All righty, Roo. Okay, okay. Awesome. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. So appreciate you doing that, Mish. So, Jacob, I don't really think there's anything sinister or dark, or I mean, I just feel like you're just being afraid that your desires are going to get the better of you. And this, again, could be you, it could be her, it could be both of you. That's what this feels like. And so, but again, divine pair. So coming back to giving yourself time to heal, taking it slow, getting over past disappointments, giving yourself time to heal. That's the big nut to me here. And I also think this ice is saying you will know. I think you're going to know if this is you or her or both of you. I think you're going to know when this happens, when you're really kind of past that stage. You're going to, that's feels like that's the epiphany here, is knowing. You're going to have the clarity. I'm not saying you're just going to wake up one day, but that could happen. You could just say, you know, I'm just putting this in there, not going to dwell on it anymore. Okay, let me ask one. Oh, hey, Dragon and Serpent. Good evening. Welcome. Thanks for dropping in. Any last piece of advice for Jacob, please? Crypto. Okay, well, let's ask. I mean, please be honest, guys. If Michelle can switch places with you, we could ask that. And if she can't, she can't. But we'll ask her. Michelle, would you be able to switch with Crypto and let me do Crypto's reading, or do you need to scoot? Yeah, same thing. Somebody is afraid. Somebody here is thinking negatively, afraid that their happily ever after, their partner, their soulmate is never going to come, and that's just not the case. But remember, what we think about, we bring about. So somebody needs to change their thinking pattern. This is somebody just thinking negatively, and that energy, and they need to change to this kind of thinking. Doesn't matter if it's never worked out, if it hasn't worked out 9 times. That 10th one could be the charm. But somebody is guarded and just thinking, this, I'll never find somebody who's willing to commit to me. I really feel like, or again, or be willing to, you know, when I say commit, the justice card can say being treated fairly, or it can also be legally, like marriage. Somebody here is just not believing it's ever going to happen for them. So Jacob, I don't know if that's you or both of you. Let's see, you're saying this is beautiful, needed confirmation. I think it will be as beautifully felt as every last step. Well, I love that. I love that. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for the confirmation that it was resonating. Your heart sees the truth, but you're scared. There it is. There it is. Mic drop. And it's so human, Jacob. It's so human. You're in great company. So many of us do that way when we've suffered a hurt or a betrayal, or, you know, those kinds of things. It really, it knocks the wind out of your sails, so to speak. It makes you afraid to venture out and to open your heart again. So I get it. My heart sees the truth, but I think I'm still scared. I think you are too. Now, I'll be honest. I don't think it's just you. I think she has some of this too. Maybe even more than you do. And she's just not letting on, I think. That's what I think. Jacob, I sure hope that was helpful, sweetheart. Thank you. And I'm glad you're still connecting, and I'm looking forward to hearing, over time, that this is working out for you, for both of you. Yeah. Thinking positively. Okay, let me catch up here. Thank you, Jacob. I appreciate you, sweetheart. Sending you a big hug. Let me see, what'd you say here? It feels like she's prepared to take these. She is prepared. She is prepared to take these steps, whatever they entail. I think I'm still worried. I must remember I gave her the environment to feel. Yes. It is time I walk into that environment. Well, all right then. With her. Yes. Okay. Awesome. But between me and you, just between us, she's got more than she's letting on. A little bit more fear than she's letting on. But that's okay, don't we all? I mean, pretty much, admit it or not. But you are very welcome, Jacob. I'm excited. I thought that was a good reading. I'm very excited for the future, and I hope it's going to continue to work. So, cool beans. All right, let me catch up here. Thank you, Jacob. I so appreciate you for the reading. Let me see. Mish says, yes, go ahead. Okay. All right, so we will do crypto next. And let me scroll back and see if I can find your question. Oh, Joseph from the UK. Oh, my, really? Thank you. Oh, the last one in 2025 was spot on. I'm wondering what 2026 has in store for me, career, family, and health. Okay, well, we need to narrow that down a little, Joseph. That's because I could be here all night covering each one of those for you. How can I? First of all, what deck for Joseph? This one or that one? Okay. So, which one of those, Joseph, is more important for you? I mean, I can ask, but we'll see what comes out. Let me just see what is coming toward Joseph in 2026 that he needs to be aware of. Let's ask that. That was quick. Not being patient enough with yourself, for starters. Can't make it up, man. I'm just saying. And maybe feeling, I want to say a little unbalanced, but but because you've got so much good things going on potentially. Let me get some more cards out. And let me also catch up here in the chat. Okay, here we go. Ooh, crypto saying, okay, maybe career. I had some news. The company I work for is being purchased by a large company this year. Okay, yeah, that does sound more urgent, doesn't it? Y'all, I can't wait. In my new space, I'm going to have a little bit more elbow room. I feel like all I can see is my nose, my big nose in this situation. Okay, in my setup. It's interesting you specified you'd rather look at career because I felt very much this was about that, about feeling impatient because the King of Wands can be an entrepreneur because I feel like this is you. Can be an entrepreneur business person. You know, he's a go-getter. He's a get it done kind of guy. So specifically in career, show me what's let me ask this question. What is the potential in career for crypto? Show me what's coming. Well, of course, we know that. That's a given. He's already there. I'm in my head. I don't know what's coming. Is the company being sold out? This is analysis paralysis. Analysis paralysis. Y'all, I can already tell Mercury is affecting my speech. All right, what else is coming toward crypto? Tell me about the career. What's coming here? Give me some dish here. Gosh, usually this deck talks fast. Okay, turn it over. Okay. There's no charge for the silence, by the way, guys. I'm just in my world here. All right. 1 second here while I cipher this. Oof. Okay. Let me give you the short version. Yes, and I'm sorry to say this might be an ending of some kind for you in this job. They might let you go. I'm sorry to say. I'm not trying to bring bad news, but rather give you a heads up. But don't worry. It's going to have a good outcome on the other side. So hang on. That's why I wanted to take a minute here. So, Joseph, I think you're going to be faced. In fact, I think you're already here. This feels like like this is already happening. You're wondering if there's any point in kind of defending your position or fighting for this, or even if you could, what would you do, right? I mean, if a company's bought out, you really have little control over that. So you can confirm or not that this is already happening. I just feel like it's where you are now. It's kind of feeling a bit helpless, like I can't fight for this. It's out of my control. no matter what I do, I could stand up there and all day long and say I'm the best man for the job and defend that high ground, but there's really, again, kind of out of my control. Now, the Hierophant in the reverse in a career reading can represent the institution. And next to, because it's in reverse, next to the world. The world is an ending. It's the end of the fool's journey, the last card in the tarot. So it very likely is saying to me the institution that you're currently employed by is ending effectively. Like you said, they're being bought out. And it's saying either you're letting go, you're being let go. It's asking you to let go. And that might feel a little bit cold and ruthless, but the other side of that is, so you might be tempted to kind of turn from this King of Wands into this King of Swords, but he's in the upright, and it just means, it means truth and clarity. And okay, I see I see the lay of the land here. I know what I have to do. And the cold hard truth is, okay, one door closes, another one opens up. Because what you don't see, this is overall happiness. This very well might be a case of, well, let me stay on this track. So this is home and family happiness here. This is not just personal happiness. This is broader happiness. And what you don't see coming is that there is another offer of some kind coming. Something that's going to be really good. Wheel of Fortune in the upright. So either, followed by, as if that wasn't enough, followed by the Justice card, which talks about things being balanced, treated fairly. So either this company is going to rehire you, maybe for more money, or you're going to get something else that's going to come along, because these are all very positive. This is the underlying story, what you can't see. It's not on the surface, it's underneath. That's at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, you can't see it. And don't be tempted to get stuck in, oh, poor me over here, because I think you will be. I think that you're already there. And I should look at the comments. You're probably talking to me over here, and I missed it. Let me go back here for a minute. Yes, no control. We only have hope. Our management is kept. Yep. Gotcha. Yeah, that's what this feels like. Now, I'm trying to figure out what this is very different than this. The energy just shifted here, so this is all very positive. And then there's this. What is this? Joseph, has something like this happened to you before? Possibly in your career. It's kind of a weird message, but I'm getting like you don't trust it, and that's why you're feeling this way, like, well, just that same old thing coming around again. I'm not, like judgments can sometimes in reverse be like bad karma. Well, I guess I just had bad karma. Here it comes again. There's a feeling like that in here with this. Yes, once, and you called it would work out, and it did. Oh, awesome. Okay, well, because that's not literally what this card excuse me, means. I just go with my intuition, and that's what it's saying. That's what that's telling me. Yeah, it's like I've been here before, and it doesn't feel good, and I don't like it, but and then here comes the message. They're bringing in the message, and then you feel all left out in the cold, and it's like, again, well, I've been here before. That's just what I'm feeling. And you feeling, and it's overwhelmed, and oh God, I'm going to have to compete with other people. Here we go again. Yep, here's the tower that's just saying, and then you're worried. It's just the whole story that we already know is potentially gonna play out there. But I think that's your fear. I don't think that's the truth. I think this good news is what's going to happen here. As you can see these cards, I really, really like this for you. So, yeah. What's that saying? Oh, shoot. Why can't I think of it? All's well that ends well. It's not fun on the journey, right? To get through this. But, yeah, that's... Happiness is coming, but you can't see that this offer is coming that's going to be good fortune for you. And it's going to, I'm just repeating myself, and it's going to balance things out. You're going to feel like things are fair. I'm really not going to, I don't know that I need to say anything more about that. That's what it is. You know, that's what I'm seeing here. Okay. So you got the heads up on that one. Okay. Yeah, sorry, Joseph. I could, yeah, I do a good number of readings. I can't remember hardly what I had to eat yesterday, much less the reading. So I'm glad I got it right though, thankfully. All right. Anything else now? How about, let's ask anything else that's coming toward Joseph that Joseph needs to know about. How about we ask about love? Well, you know, let's just ask about that. Anything, what's coming toward Joseph in 2026 in love? Let's ask that question. Okay. Well, I think something you, oh, what is this? Oh my gosh, because I almost said, okay, I think I kind of remembered that you were in that line of work now. You're very welcome. And he's saying, yes, corporate oil and gas is not fun. Because I almost said out loud, you need to change career field. Like whatever field you're in, it's like, you know, one, it's just like Pac-Man gobbling, you know, this one's gobbling that one up. And this, you know, kind of like the banking industry was for a while. We went through that with my ex and I. We went through, you know, this one being bought out, and then this bigger company came in, and it ended up being 3 different companies. You know, he survived every time, but there were a lot of changes, and we had to move to a different city, and you know, it's like that in the big corporate world for sure. So I want to see what this is. It's coming towards you in love. Well, you don't see it coming. You don't see, and it's something or someone that you've released or been released from that was toxic. Some situation here. Let me get more. I'm going to ask for more jumpers, please, on this. You have to probe yourself after every merger. Oh, God, really? I know. I remember it was brutal. And we had just bought a little vacation home. And it's like, you know, I had to go back to work. And we, you know, there's all those adjustments that, you know, life. But we landed on our feet. We did all right. We did well, actually. He did well. I'm going to take credit for that too. Just a quick side story because it made me think of it. When the second merger happened, a bank, we were living in Atlanta, and the second merger happened, and a bank in Birmingham wanted to buy the bank he was working for. And he was the head of their investment division at the time. And they invited us over for this dinner, and there were other people slash candidates there. It was like a corporate function. It wasn't an interview per se, but a big corporate function that they had annually, and we were one of the couples that were invited over. Well, we kind of knew they were checking him out, and after the function, I sent a handwritten thank you note back to the person who would have been looking to hire him. And I didn't find this out till 6 months later. One, he got the job, and then we went out to dinner with this man who would become his boss, and he told us later. He said, "Do you know you were the only person out of 100 people that sent me a thank you note for that event?" And I swear to this day, I think I got him the job for that. That little thank you note got him the job because I was a good corporate wife, whatever. All right, anything else here for Joseph about love? What is this? What is this? Prove yourself after. Okay, yeah. Because probing would have been accurate too, but you have to prove yourself after exactly. Do you think so? Yeah. Well, I did what I knew to do. I did how my mama raised me, Nobody does that anymore though. So show me what else is coming toward. So sorry, y'all. Probably should get up and go take an allergy pill. Tell me what's coming toward crypto in love, because this isn't enough. We need more. Give me a couple more cards, please. All right. Come on, come on, come on. Sometimes wish I was one of those real fast shufflers, they just pop out everywhere. But nope, I is who I is, and I ain't who I ain't, as the saying goes. Okay. Well, I did ask what's coming toward you. So I don't know if this has already happened or what. We're still pretty early into the year, so I'm thinking it has. So again, what you don't see coming is a release from something that was toxic, that very likely broke your heart, but you're healing. This is in reverse, so that means it's already happened. You're healing from it. But there's a part of you that doesn't quite yet feel liberated from it in one way or another. In other words, that could be anything from I'm just not emotionally quite over it, or I haven't gotten my money. For example, if this was a relationship where you cohabitated and you somehow mingled finances, it can mean maybe that's not separated yet, or so I'm not feeling liberated, or maybe that person hasn't moved out yet, or I mean, either, because this can also mean someone who's codependent, you or them. But I feel like this is going to turn into, once you get a little further down the road, a place where you'll have choices again. Right now I think you're feeling that's not the case, or when this plays out, I should say. Let me make sense. This is not making sense yet. Hold on, right here, this bottom of the deck I'm talking about. That was making sense. This could have been someone, this could be Joseph, you'll have to tell me. But we ask what's coming. So this could be someone who is that you've already had a situation with, who was either not emotionally available, or again, this could be anyway. But sometimes, and I'm feeling this might be the case, this Knight of Cups is somebody who can be somebody who's moody, depressed, struggles with depression even, maybe overindulgence of some kind, that you could have hoped you would have expansion with. I mean, this could actually mean pregnancy, so be careful. I think you were very curious, you were optimistic, or future. I tend to speak in past tense. Please forgive me. In this situation this year, you will, unless it's already happened, feel curious and optimistic that hopefully, again, I don't know if this is talking about you or somebody else here. What is this saying? I'm still confused. There's some kind of change that happens. This feels like you're breaking up with somebody, but it's already happened. Is this just lingering energy? Is this limerence perchance? Mr. JM, I am indeed. I've got the one I'm working on. I've got one more, and then you would be next if you'd like to purchase one. See, this is the Two of Cups in reverse. This is say I don't have, it's, let's just say breakup energy, but you're saying, no, I do not want to couple with that person anymore. I've lost passion for that person. Could be you felt manipulated by someone, or again, this is future influence. This could be somebody who wouldn't make a choice, or again, this could be you. I'm not sure. I'm engaged, 2 kids, Tyler, 4-month old, partner suffers mental health. Oh goodness, oh goodness. Okay. That makes what I was feeling around this. This is what this feels like. Thank you for that. Okay. Well, it's a little tricky for me to, I'm not whining, but I'm explaining. It's a little tricky for me in a reader. When I ask what's coming towards you, meaning potentially in the future, and I get a card that implies something that's already happened, that's a little confusing if you can make sense of that. So I'm going to read this now that I know that. This is somebody who's codependent on you, like your person. I think this is what this is saying. There could be confusion caused by that, and that's exactly what I'm feeling. This is somebody who's not particularly stable, emotionally stable, or maybe otherwise. And you might, and again, I'm gonna say it again, you might be careful, because this can mean pregnancy. I mean, unless you want another one, but with 2 kids and a 4-month old, whoosh. Now, I'm going to say this. This can mean I'm optimistic. I'm curious and optimistic that there can be change and transformation in this relationship, where in the past, I'm speaking as if I'm already well into this situation that hasn't happened yet, where we've lost passion. I think another meaning, instead of feeling manipulated, this could be you in this situation saying, I just don't think I have the skills. This Magician in Reverse can say, I don't think I have the resources, whatever that may mean, either emotionally, mentally, physical resources to deal with this situation. This could be is something like your partner saying, I want another child, and you're saying, I don't think so, because I don't think we can afford it. Or, it could be something that's, I don't usually like to get that specific in my readings, but it could be. Or getting pregnant and then having a conversation. This is not making total sense. Let's see what else here. Okay, that is exactly what, well, hang on before I speak. Okay, Joseph, I'm going to give you this really specific message besides what I've already said. You may experience this year, have a little bit of a timeout with your partner. That could be saying, I'm going away for the weekend, I need a break, to something more significant. I don't think it's more significant. I think it's something smaller. And this could be because somebody was a little bit, let me just say this. You may be tempted to have a dalliance this year. There it is. I said it out loud. I said tempted. It's so weird. I don't know what spirit has up their sleeve with me sometimes. Because I think there's something coming that you may think that, oh gosh, I wish I hadn't done that. And now that I did, I can't really defend myself. And I feel bad about it because, whew, look how beautiful this woman is. That's really, and oh God, I got to let go of that like a hot potato, because the truth's going to come out if I'm not careful. And it might, jeopardize this. Or maybe you thinking I can even see happiness in a family with some new person, but it ends up in not being that and could jeopardize your relationship. So I'm just saying there might be a temptation for you this year. So heads up. Heads up. So this could be indicating maybe you and your partner in the future have a fight about something, whatever, and you know how we do. We say, well, we'll just go, human. I'm not going to elaborate on that. You know what I'm saying. So just be mindful that temptation could not tap you on the shoulder this year. Okay. That's all I'm going to say about that. Because you might be tempted to say, I'm putting all this in the rearview mirror and I'm going to something, whatever. No, anyway, okay. No, I don't think you do want that, but it's weird sometimes, that how things can happen and we're not even looking for it. So just be mindful. And here's the other thing. Maybe it's not even you. Maybe somebody else finds you very attractive and, out of nowhere is in front of you saying, hey, baby, want to hook up? Excuse me. Okay. I hope that's helpful, Joseph. Please come back and report. I appreciate so much that you gave me an update on the previous reading I had done. And I can't say I'm glad I was right, because it's caused you stress that you had to switch jobs, but it is what it is. You know how that goes. We all got stuff we live through. So thank you very much. Yeah, Joseph, thank you. I know you weren't here in the first few minutes. I did not do a free reading tonight. Not doing a free reading tonight. This one is paid readings for tonight. So thank you though for chiming in. Let's see, Joseph, the other Joseph. If anything I do, there's two Josephs here. I know it's confusing. Crypto. If anything I do, get a lot of offers to work overseas. Aha, and my partner doesn't want me to. I understand that. But with the uncertainty of a career, I've been tempted to accept. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that could be that. Absolutely. Because the Queen of Cups can represent a person. It typically does for me. But it can also be something you love. like an entity. A job is a kind of an entity of something that you would love, number one. And number two, that storyline would fit, although we were asking about love, not career, but still, it's, yeah. Lots of different ways that could play out, but let's hope that doesn't have to happen, because if I was your wife, no, you not leaving me and with 2 babies and a going overseas. I might take her side on that one, Joseph. Oh my goodness. All your energy goes into career. Well, and no, I'm not taking sides, but somebody's got to pay the bills and feed those babies too, right? Oh yeah. Everybody's got to do their part and contribute in a relationship. Hey Veronica, good evening. And Adil Nadaf, did I say that correctly? And Pihu, good evening to everybody. Thank you. Oh my goodness, a lot of new people here. Thank y'all for being here. So Joseph, I hope that was helpful. And I know we don't know yet, will we? Until the year plays out. But I'm wishing you lots of luck. I don't think you need luck. I sense you've got a lot of good skill. You don't need luck. You got this. You got this. So for you new people that are just joining the chat, these are paid readings. So you can find the link at the top of the chat or in the description box if you would like one. Now I'm going to do a reading for Mish next. And Michelle, what is your question? Please. Thank you, Joseph. Joseph Harris. Got to distinguish my Josephs now. Oh, I did do a reading for you a few months ago. And I'm not going to say it twice. I won't get it right second time, I know. Michelle says, again. Who or what is coming towards me? Again. Okay. Yeah, general, not love necessarily, just general. Okay, great. Not tonight. No free reading tonight. Good evening, Bendayo, Bendayo 419. Good evening. AD would be easier. Yes, it would, AD. Thank you. But AD, no, not tonight. I don't do it every time, the free reading, but I do try to. It just takes more energy because, you know, a lot more people in the chat, a lot more. It's just, I can't do it every time. Okay. What deck for Michelle? Well, that's an interesting choice. Okay, I haven't used this deck in quite a while. Sorry, Michelle, not your favorite deck tonight. Who or what? I know, right? You have made strides this week, big strides, and I am interested how, because I sense that the energy has shifted. My tea leaves are telling me. Let's see. Who or what is coming toward Michelle? Okay, let's see. Who or what is coming toward Michelle? Please and thank you. I'm not even going to speak on that. I am not even going to speak on that yet. Huh. You saw it, didn't you? You saw it. I know you did. Yeah. Why do I think this is you changing from the Queen of Swords to maybe the Queen of Cups? Maybe something from your past is asking you to open your heart. Now, I'm not saying the person necessarily. Maybe. Because we know in reverse, because it is in reverse, this could be too much memories of the past, living in the past, not in a good way. What else? What else is coming toward Michelle? I love that you saw that card and you knew what it meant. Oh, not the Six of Cups. Which Six of Cups? That's the question, isn't it, Michelle? For you, which Six of Cups? Oh my God. Seriously? Seriously. I'm just going to keep pulling cards. Hierophant. Y'all, I'm so sorry. I'm sincere apologies for this throat business tonight. What is coming toward Michelle? Now, I have to say, because we didn't specify love, and you know me, queens and kings in readings are people. So this could be a new friend, you know, somebody that you end up really caring about. A person from your past that you were friends with. Now, we know we don't read gender, but somehow this feels more like a feminine energy. I didn't say female, I said feminine. Oh, you are coming to some crossroads with decisions. Well, well, the good news is you're about to have clarity. Wait a minute. Oh, shucks. Hang on. You're about to have clarity. That's what fell on the floor. That's good. It's interesting that Spirit told me to use this deck because I don't use it very often anymore. I mean, it's fun, but I don't know, not called to. And this is one that has the meanings on them. And I've never really considered this meaning necessarily for the Hierophant, but one of the meanings is forgiveness, according to this. Just saying. Oh, Jay, thank you. Well, I know everybody's pitching in tonight. Whatever you can, you know how I appreciate you being here. And these, you know, this thing with YouTube anymore, it's just such a guess anymore. It's not like the days when y'all were here and we had, you know, 5,000-10,000 people on here. That's okay. It's much more manageable like this, honestly. That is okay. Show me what this is. I'll hear and clarify that Queen of Cups. We'll ask that. But you know, the Hierophant, I mean, this is, okay. Okay, the surface energy, something that you remember from the past, someone probably that you remember from the past, or something that you have fond memories of from the past, although this is in reverse. So That's questionable. But see, see how she's looking. She has this cup looking back at these memories, and this. Let me double check this. Yeah, in this deck. Her feet, yeah. In some decks, her feet are in the water, not in this one. So that makes me think she's questioning, almost like, do I want to go back and entertain this from the past? Is that really, I'm not sure I want to emotionally invest in something from my past again because it didn't feel balanced. I mean, we're talking about what's coming toward you, but this is the energy of the week. Now, certainly, as you know, the Hierophant can represent a marriage, some kind of long-term connection. And it's very likely that it's as simple as you're getting clarity about that, your marriage, how you feel about that. To me, that's like what's already happened to you. This may be a case of Tarot's pulling that old, let's show you the past story first trick with me. All right, so I think, yeah, backstory, exactly. That's what I'm concluding too. They, you know, they don't do that as much as they used to, but they still do sometimes. And guess who's here? So somebody wants to come and tell you how they feel. Oh, we know who this is. I think you know what this is. I'm going to let you finish the reading now, right? But I'm hoping this is you. I'm hoping they're saying, nope, I'm releasing that toxic energy. Nope, 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 nope. Let me see what else comes out. We want to jump to, we don't want to jump to conclusions. Oh, good Lord, have mercy. I was so hoping that card would not come out. Oh, Michelle, I was feeling it, but I didn't want to say it. Honest to goodness. All right. Well, you're going to guess. Somebody's going to come tell you how they feel, or potentially somebody that I think you let go of. You know who? Probably your ex-husband, who's saying, "I want to come in out of the cold now. I feel," or this could be saying you felt abandoned by this person. But I'm leaning toward the first story because now I have a King of Cups in the reverse. A couple here, the Queen and King of Cups in the reverse. Let me see what's at the bottom here. And let's see, we have Pentacles, Pentacles, kind of equal. Pentacles and Cups, putting down the heavy burden. Yeah, somebody who's insecure, bringing a message saying, can we put this down? Can we put this behind us? Because I really want to talk about this. Can we? Oh, happy home. Let's move on to calmer waters. This smacks of your ex. I'm sorry to say. Well, I know. Now, let's for just a moment. We did not specify love, did we? We did not. We did not. But with all these cups here, I'm inclined, I mean, cups. Okay, so I told you the surface story. Now here's another layer. You're telling me, even if this person comes forward with this cup, this is something that's been released clearly in the past. Released. I put this behind me. It's out in the. You've abandoned it virtually, or this is somebody who abandoned you, who wasn't there for you emotionally, right? And you very well are saying, I don't want this anymore. I do not want that particular cup. You know, I want into something new. That's, tell him to go. I know, tell him to go. So sorry. I want to ask though. Let's see. Let me get every deck I have out here for you. I want to ask what this Ace of Cups is. Maybe this is just saying, no, I'm not having that. Thanks, but no thanks. I'm focusing on self-love here. Maybe even some compassion. What is this Ace of Cups? Oh, my ears just popped. Ooh. Oh, sorry. It was loud in my head. What is this Ace of Cups from Michelle? Something coming to light? What? Difficult conversation about an ending and a betrayal and wishes that were dashed and instability and juggling and I wish I'd put the work in. Let me get more. Who or what is this Ace of Cups? Or you're not working on it anymore. This could go either way. I need more specifics, please. Come on, team. Bring it in. Bring it in closer for me, for Michelle, please. I know it was last week, too. Well, clearly it's not quite done. Yeah. Give me one more, please. Not stable. I'm whispering. Can y'all hear me when I whisper? There's 5 of Pentacles again. King of Pentacles. I'm not going to fight for this. Out in the cold. Confused. Yeah. Lost patience for this. Tower. Yeah. Oh, goodness. Okay. Give me one more, please. Give me one more flyer. What is this Ace of Cups? Bunch of them. Hold on. Girl, I want to be wrong about this. I do. I really sincerely hope I'm wrong about this. Because when I'm clarifying what this cup is over here, let me just start by saying the King and Queen of Swords is here in the reverse. Now, this is typically a divorced couple. Not always, but I'm trying not to say that. And 10 of Cups in reverse. This would be like the happy home, the family that didn't happen, unhappiness at large. And look at here. She meaning you, and we know you used to show up as this all the time. Queen of Swords in reverse, looking over at this basically spilt milk or ruined family situation. Turning your back on this person trying to communicate, or this could be saying he was, I don't like to go there, jump there, but I'm getting several messages here. Yeah, unfinished business that's the perfect word to sum all this up. This is what it looks like. So it just feels like you're examining, just like you had to do, like you say, I think this has already happened here. Examining these past few, you were forced because of the situation. And then he might pop up in some form or fashion, even if it's a phone call or something, I don't know, or a message, whatever, And that might, he might bring back, he might try to say, can we start over? I want to be wrong about this, I do. Because I don't think, first of all, you're not having it. I mean, that's a given. You're not having it. But at the bottom of the deck, here's this King of Swords. Now, we know neither of these people are happy. But these two, look at this combination here. Hang on if I can. King of Swords in reverse, Nine of Swords with the Six of Cups in the upright again. So I think your person over here that we're talking about, and you know who this is, has a little bit different version of the past than you do. He's got fond memories of the past. And, it's been stressing him out. I think there's some current and past energy that's creating this King of Swords, stressing him out. It's like, now that I'm clean and got myself together more, now I'm thinking back on those fond memories, and I realize how cold I was in this situation, how calculating and manipulative and all the cruel things that the King of Swords in reverse would have done. And now I'm feeling bad about that. I'm feeling guilty about that. That's part of that energy for sure. And then what's being shown to him, what's being illuminated, is what a incredibly big, can we say, missed opportunity that he basically, threw away. I'll just say it that way. I don't think this is, I don't want it to end because it's already ended, but yeah, I think he's acknowledging I didn't change. I wasn't able to change, or chose not to change. Part of this is he's curious if you've moved on. That's right, Urson. What a downer. I'm sorry, honey. Because he's he's that's the essence. He's curious if you've moved on, if you've really put that burden down, and if it's really, really, really over. It's a cycle, whether it's a marriage or not, it's still a cycle because you have children together. Do you know, this is like, to me, feels like closure. He needs closure because when he wasn't sober and all the things, there was, he didn't get, now that he's sober and he's looking back, he's, you know, well, holy crap, what did I do? Look at what I did. Look at how cruel and cold I was, and all the things. Because he's, look at these. I'm going to leave that page for, that's not really relative. Can you, it's so hard for me to hold these little cards. Can you see how these, oh, I got it backwards. Wait a minute. Let me do it this way so you can see. She's got her back. I'm trying to do it like I'm seeing it on the table, and it's still not. He's there. There we go. She's looking at this. This was in reverse. That's why. All right. This was in the verse, and she was, there we go. I'll get it in a minute. She's looking over here at this Ten. Still didn't do it right. 10 of Cups in reverse. There we go. Now, she's looking at the spilt milk and the past and the dashed dreams. But he's looking straight ahead. Like, she's not looking at him. She's put him in the past. And he's still kind of looking straight ahead, wondering. He's not looking to the future or to the past, really. He's kind of, where does this stand right here, right now? That's me when I was married to him and have thus come out of it. I know it. I know I don't want to. Yeah, no, you don't want to bring her back to the past. And I think this was a reminder that you don't have to, that you're moved on into. And I love this because, you know, I know you're a Scorpio and this is Scorpio energy. So we want you to stay there. Again, I think what you shared with me happened was a confirmation that you are there. So I know it might feel a little overwhelming at first. I'm just reading the rest of the bottom of the deck. This is just kind of telling the story, I think, about him. Yeah. Yep. All this time I was, you know, this is just the story underneath the layer of him. We've come out of, you know, but I know you're curious about tarot, so I'll show you. Yeah, I juggled you, and this is overwhelming. I think this is overwhelming emotionally for him, too. Now that we've come out of isolation, or I've come out of isolation, you know, I realized this situation, you know, there's no hope for us. On the one hand, this is more like dreams being dashed, and I know it's not healed. Didn't do my part. I'm guilty. It failed because of me. We didn't communicate about that. All this he's just acknowledging the backstory here. I didn't put you know, this was not, I didn't do this, couldn't do this for the long term, and I guess you're moving on. This is him coming to terms with it. This is what this is. Him coming to terms with it. Yep. I wasn't awakened, and furthermore, I in my heart of hearts probably know you're not ever going to reconcile with me. And I abandoned you, and all the things. Yeah, I'm confused. I didn't, you know, it's just, yeah, I was the Knight of Wands in reverse. It's the whole, everything is right here at the bottom of the deck telling his story. I lost myself for a while. I threw this cup of love and our marriage out the window. You know, I behaved selfishly like this King of Wands. Yep. Yep, yep. Well, I mean, if you don't literally hear from him, just know that this is going on. And I feel like this is more about him giving himself closure. It's not really about you. To me, this is him giving himself closure now that he's sober. And you know what? You've got 4 sons together. Let's give him this. I'm not saying it's a victory. I'm saying that you don't have to do anything. He's going through his own process here to give himself this closure or to have a clear vision and understanding of where things really are right here, right now, not how they were, not how he remembers them. Let me see here. Well, the thing's not moving again. Where's my other little pen? What did I do with it? Where'd it go? Oh, it's under here. Hang on a second. He's delusional. Yeah. I know. Yeah, Earth sign. I like. Yeah, thinking an apology can fix anything. Not for what he did. No going back. But he just appeared, folks, and now he's in rehab and has been since last year. Yes, you can see how tarot's really. It's such an amazing vehicle. It truly is. Or medium, I should say. Tarot. You're saying you could pick up on that today when you. I know because you said he had kind of had stars in his eyes, and that's sort of what I'm feeling here. I mean, part of him knows, part of him truly knows, but part of him, you know how we all long for closure, and sometimes we just don't get it. We have to give it to ourselves, and I feel like that's where he is look at me, I'm bright and shiny and new, and I'm clean now, and Hey Matthew, good evening. Thank you. I am having a great night. I'm spending it with some great people right here on YouTube. Thank you. So, Michelle, I'm so sorry to have to. I wish I'm looking for that reading when I have a king and a queen of king of cups riding in with, coming to see that queen of cups, something new. Two of cups, ace of cups in that reading. Yeah. Oh, I know. Honey, you don't know how bad I hate to keep. I promise you, this is harder for me than it is for you because I don't like giving you the same message over and over again. But if it's in the energy, tarot just tells me what's in the energy. It's never really predicting the future. This may happen, it might not, but it's in the energy. So I hope everybody out here who's on this live hears that. There's no such thing as predicting the future. It only tells you what the potential is that's active in the energy field. And everybody has free will. So that's the way it is. I'm so sorry, guys. I just had a big coughing jag. I'm so sorry, guys. Big coughing jag. So sorry. I took my allergy medicine too. That might be, like I said, what's going on? I'm so embarrassed about all the coughing. My apologies. Well, Michelle, you're saying you should have been specific. I don't know that it would have changed, because if this is in the energy, it's what's in the energy. I mean, I guess we could say, only show me something new. I guess we could have done that. Yeah, thank you. I'm so sorry. I just didn't want to cough in your ears. That was nasty. Let me quit shuffling these and put these up. Is anything new coming toward Michelle? We asked that. Not this. We shouldn't ask just what's coming. I dare that King of Cups to come out again. No, don't purchase any more readings. No, do not do it, Michelle. Don't do it. I want to get a couple of cards just to see specifically anything new in love coming toward Michelle, let's say in the next month. Potentially. And I'm hearing not that deck. Anything new coming toward Michelle in love in the next month. Well, very possibly, but I don't think you're going to be that impressed with them. Page of Cups, I don't think you want a page. I mean, it might be fun. Might just be a good way to dip your toe in the water again, in the dating pool again. That could be a good way to get back in the, for Stella to get her groove back. But you know, it's Page of Cups. But I said that because I don't think it's just not going to light your fire. I don't think. Now that could be also you questioning, do I still have it? Let me see what's this side. That doesn't make any sense. You do that a lot? Yeah, this feels more like you, because, and I say that because you know, I know you'd like to know about tarot, because the Magician is in reverse. Like, I don't know if I'm, it's not technically a card of losing confidence, but it's, I don't, questioning, do I have the resources, or I don't feel like I have the resources. In other words, within yourself, being afraid to make a choice. I'm doing it again. So you might have kind of a knee-jerk reaction and say, no, I'm just going to focus on work. I'm not giving into this. I'm just saying. Page of Cups. So you might have somebody. Might have somebody. Okay. Yes, resources are time or energy to give. I know. Y'all, hang on one second. Let me reach. One second. I can't quite. I can't wait to get my new space and get everything where I can reach it. Thinking about doing some reading standing up. I mean, I could do that now, but I just don't. There's stuff on the floor. We're making do for now. Anyway, give me 3 cards on Michelle's career, please. Just to be clear, there's nobody else waiting for a reading that you know of. Do you, guys? Or is there? Okay, thank you. Oof, that's a lot. Okay. What in the Sam Hill? Girl. I don't know if this is a person that this is talking about, or a situation involving a person. So this looks like somebody, or I'm going to put it in context of a person. Now, we ask about career, so this could be a boss, it could be a work, I don't know who it is, but somebody you haven't been talking to, probably. you're going to hear from. They're coming in fast. This could have been somebody, as we know, the Knight of Wands is in and out energy. Somebody who might not have been consistent in some way, who you don't feel was stable. I mean, I guess this could even be a parent. I hope not. But you feel like they're toxic as can be. And I'm hearing this is actually somebody that you might try to avoid, because you know it's just going to be conflict. Because this King of Pentacles is just, unstable. But okay, hold on. I'm getting some more messages here. I heard hang on. It's like needy. This is like a King of Wands energy, almost like needy for attention. This person is, it's like somebody who would protest too much when, you know, make a mountain out of a molehill, because they are not, they don't have a good balance of, in other words, almost like they need attention, and they'll get it even if it's over the top or a little bit more inappropriate. I don't know if that made any sense. This is career, yes. Yeah, this is somebody that you have been disconnected from. I remember you telling me about a situation where you had, I wonder if this is that person. Ew, ew, I hope not. I really hope not. This could be the actual leader of where I work, where we have had conflict, and he would be the one to rehire me. Is the only one I can think, well, could be, because that could be this. I just don't, honestly, this energy feels more like a King of Wands in reverse, but but that makes sense, because that's why they would give me the King of Pentacles. If it's a boss, it would be more this energy. So, but his energy feels more like, I do not like it. I think you feel this person has held you back and has been toxic for your career path. I'll just say that. Well, that could be one of the meanings of this card, but it's rare, and honestly, no. But, I mean, he's hiding it if he is. I'll pull on this devil. Let me see if there's anything else first. Well, this is good news. Oh, Lord. No. Oh, Lord. I wish you hadn't asked me that. You know the reading I just finished for you? Remember this guy? It's in the reverse. Now, I'm just saying, we're not going to make a whole lot of that. These cards that were in the reverse, so I'm going to have to say maybe so, but I don't I don't really have that out here. So you just don't want to deal with this. You just think, I don't really want that conflict again. I really don't want that conflict again, and I would really like to just cut through all the BS with my very sharp sword. But then here they come. Because so this could be your boss. That's what this is looking like. Some kind of an offer that you got coming in. Now, why this? I heard, and this is not the, you know, this deck has some interesting artwork. This is it Kali, I think? This is the death card. Now, see how she's standing on that chest? It's like dancing on this chest of this person. But now it's in reverse. And I heard when the card came out, resurrecting something from the dead. And you may love it. You may love it. It might make you very happy. You may feel vindicated even, like finally karma's working in my stead, in my favor. Let me see what you said here. Absolutely. I mean, yes, hiding it, but he's been suspect. Well, and now I'm getting to those cards. Yeah, there's an awkwardness there that shouldn't be, but you want to keep your job. Yes, I hear that. Shouldn't, but I want to keep my job. Yes. Oh, this screen is driving me crazy. I don't have to interact with him much at all. Thank goodness. Oh, and I got done. You got done wrong and had to keep my mouth shut. Yes. I hate to say that, but that's what this feels like. That past situation energy. So you tell me, is that the same person? That story that you told me? I mean, because again, Page of Cups in reverse. This is somebody who either wasn't willing to apologize, or the whole business, emotionally unavailable. But here we know what that means. Y'all forgive me. I'm talking to Mish because I know she reads tarot. So I mean, it's like we're having this personal conversation. So my apologies if I'm leaving anybody out there. Because he never did really, he never said, I'm sorry, I have to do this. He never really gave you any kind of a, yeah, okay, correct, yes. Oh, and he's married furthermore. But unhappy and weird energy. I think that might be what's going on there for sure. Yeah, because the story underneath at the bottom, the understory, 2 words, he's not happy. Queen of Cups in reverse. I mean, this could be you. You're saying, I don't want anything to do with that. Sure. But I think this is him probably saying either I'm not happy with my wife, or this person isn't emotionally available. That's 2 cards that say that potentially. But he might be holding on. And he might be controlled because of the whole money thing. That's this miser holding on to money. So he could be, I don't have a magician, but he could be using that in some way. I don't want to make this guy be necessarily a bad guy, but then look who we have here. He's pretty cruel and cold. Yeah. Timing, waiting. Am I, what are you investing in? Or is he wanting to invest in you? Because this is about a choice. Somebody's making a choice here. You may have to make a choice to stand. Well, I'm getting too deep in the deck there, but he acts different with everyone but me. You've watched, and you were so intuitive. You would pick up on that. Either he has an, oh, thank you, Lotus Palm. Thank you for I'll get to you right after me, Sheer. 1 second. Either he has an unfavorable opinion of me and won't rehire me, or will rehire me, and he's attracted to me. Oh yeah, that's honestly, that's kind of what I feel like here. But you catch the eye across the room. Well, the fact that these cards right here in the middle of the reading, the devil is right in the middle of this reading with this King of Cups, King of Pentacles in reverse. I do not like that. And you're saying, I don't want any part of it. I don't want to do that again. And now that I look at this and the Knight of Wands energy doesn't help. Hello, Soph, and welcome in to you new folks. My apologies. I'm coughing a lot tonight. I presume it's allergies. Can't say that enough. How apologetic I am, but I'm here and I'm not going to leave till we're done. So. Anything else? What is this person's intentions? Well, I'm oh yeah, well. I'm confused because I'm still hoping my ships are coming in, waiting. But the Queen of Wands in reverse, that's not a good intention. You know, she's needy, she's selfish, she's self-centered. All about her. Yeah, this is not. Four Swords in reverse, maybe coming out of a period when you didn't talk and weren't, you know. So this is sounding like somebody who's trying to smooth back in. But look at this. Five of Swords, ego, pride, winning at all costs. You know, oh no. Oh, now I'm feeling bad about this. But I can't tell you that. It goes on King of Wands in reverse. Yeah, what is he trying to, yeah, he's trying to manifest you wanting, and the cards came back. They came back. Magician, trying to manifest, I'm going to say enticement for you to stick around, I think. Okay, well, that is very interesting. It's nice to get confirmation with your intuition. Well, you have such good intuition. I don't know why you'd ever doubt it, but it's human nature. We do, for sure. We do. And yeah, and what you thought about, he's trying to manifest. Well, or he just is confident enough he thinks he's got the stuff. I don't usually get that energy off the Magician unless he's next to some other, you know, indicator. Well, I don't know that it's really you and him together. I didn't say that. I don't know that it's that. I do not like this. He does feel regretful about something, but, you know, again, something he's not talking about or not moving on yet. This just feels like a little more lustful than anything. I didn't really get, I'm in love with you energy. You know, we got the Devil, the King of Pentacles in the reverse, and this Knight of Wands. So it just feels more lustful than anything. So there you have it. Girl, you just stirring pots everywhere you go. I'm just saying. You stirring up stuff everywhere you go. Oh, Michelle, bless your heart. It's like a tension between us, but we barely know each other. I deserve an apology. Well, and that was clear. There has been none, and probably won't be. No apology. You're very welcome. That confirms the weirdness. Yeah. I mean, you know, those three cards right together. I'm surprised. Well, the Ace of Wands did come out, but on the bottom of the deck, yeah, it was hidden. I'm hiding that. It's my secret, he's saying. Well, you're welcome, Michelle. You're so sweet. You know, I try to do extra when I can. as long as people aren't waiting in line here, I like to do extra, especially for my moderators, because y'all do so much for me. Now, let me go back up here and catch up with Lotus Palm. Okay. Okay, the question is, I want to ask about a guy. Okay. I've been dating Craig is his name. I want long-term commitment. What does he want? Is he capable of being a life partner I need? Let's ask. Okay, what deck for Lotus Palm? We want to ask about Craig. Yes. Y'all, I can't wait to get some new glasses. I can't do it for another month, but what deck? Okay. So we want to know, let me get my chat back up there. All right. We want to know, what are Craig's intentions toward you is essentially what you're asking. How does he feel, or what are his intentions towards you? Lotus Palm. Okay. Thank y'all for the thumbs up. That is so appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. And love, that's so very kind of you. Thank you so much for saying that. Tonight's been quite awkward. I've been coughing my head off. So it's not always like that. Okay, do you not want to talk to me? Let's try this. How does Craig feel about Lotus Palm? Okay, one more. Okay, apparently you do not want to talk. I'll go to my standby then. How does Craig feel about Lotus Palm? Let's start with that. Thank you. I appreciate that. I think that I didn't realize that the pollen just suddenly popped out, and I have very bad allergies, and I hadn't taken anything, and I think it just caught up with me because I've been running around outside today. Running errands out in it. Oops, I got water on my mat. Undecided, Lotus Palm. I'm going to get more, but when cards come out sideways for me, that means the energy is not decided yet if it's in transition. Are they in the upright or they're in the reverse? So this person is maybe not decided. I've got the Emperor sideways followed by the World card sideways. Now, another meaning could be they're not sure because maybe they haven't completely ended another situation or cycle with somebody else. But let's see what else comes out. Yeah, that could be it. This person may still be in the process of getting free from, this essentially means, third-party situation. That could be. Now, to be clear, third parties don't always mean romantic interest. Could be a job or family commitment or something like that. Aw, thank you for those hearts. That's so sweet. And good evening, Tammy. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. Okay, tell me more, please, about this, how Craig feels. Okay, well, he does like you. You make him happy. You make the sun shining on your face on a cool day. You know how good that feels. Yeah. But he's a little stuck at a crossroads right now. So we'll get some more. Well, again, I can't say that he's lying. I don't have that card out here at all yet. It's early, but you know, finishing up business could be emotional, mental. It doesn't mean there's physically another person. That's why I said what I did. It's not always a person. But in some way, it could be holding him back from, you know, really moving forward with you. So that's why I word things the way I do. But anyway, let's keep going here. Oh, thank you. Bear with me. What is that about? Okay, so he's worried about money and family. I can tell you that. But what I don't like is that this guy's here. So, gonna have to clarify this. All right, because this is a potential soulmate. Okay, I will tell you that. That's kind of essentially what you wanted to know. This person is a potential. He sees you as a potential soulmate. Okay, that's like I said. Which, oh Lord, he's lost his inheritance. Is fighting with his family. Well, thank you for that, because that's essentially, yeah, what this says. Somebody who's, oh gosh, wait a minute, I'm about to lose the whole deck. Sleepless nights, worrying, anxiety, and stress about this when the Wheel of Fortune is in reverse, bad fortune, having to do with family or things, you know, from the past. Yes. Yeah. I think he feels like he was owed some money anyway. Yeah, remorse, regret. Now, I'm trying to figure out what this means here, because this is kind of unusual that it's right in the middle. So I'm going to clarify that with what deck? This one. Okay. Explain to me what this is, please, Spirit. This is somebody, and the reason I don't like this, just to explain to you, Lotus Palm, this card means somebody winning at all costs. It's someone, it talks about ego and pride, and I don't care who I hurt to get what I want. Now, we don't want that in a love reading when he's in the upright. We definitely don't want that. Followed by the card of, you know, I'm not quite done healing because it's in the reverse, or somebody who's coming out of a healing situation. It could mean that. So I'm asking for clarification on this. What's this Five of Swords for Craig, please? There's that Two of Swords again. Remember this? Here it is again. Having to make a choice about what direction to move forward, and I'm stuck. I'm really stuck here in this energy. Okay. What does this mean here? I don't understand that. Let me keep going. Give me some more, please. Well, these are one question readings. Believe me, I could spend all night clarifying each one of these cards. So I'm going to get you more information as I can. Well, something here that's very not balanced, and he's losing patience over it. He's confused. Every which way I go, he's confused. He's stuck. Okay. I'm going to put it to you this way. This person, here's what I think is going on here. I think this person is in the middle of, I don't want to call it a dark night of the soul because that's really dramatic sounding. And I don't really think it's that, because I would have some different cards here. But I do think he's at a major crossroads in his life. Now, not having to do with you. Let's just say in his life, okay? And what you said about this inheritance, that's, I think, a piece of it. And so what I think this is him feeling entitled. Now, I know we ask about you, but bear with me a little bit here. I think he's feeling entitled. And so right now that's putting him in a bit of a selfish energy, okay? Because he's so focused, he can't, it's like I can't move forward here because I'm focused, because I don't know what direction. Or have been stuck in this energy, as I've already said. And I don't know that I'm just so confused because nothing seems to be, in other words, I want harmony, I want balance. I'm trying to be patient, but I don't have any more patience here anymore because, I'm confused. I got all these options in front of me, and yet right now, all I'm feeling like is two things. I think this person feels like they're getting some karma about something, but I also think this is causing this person to have an awakening, a spiritual awakening, okay? And he needs this. Can I just say that? This doesn't happen because this person, I don't know, picked up a dollar off the street that belonged to somebody else. This is something this person needs to go through. Now, what does that have to do with you? It says that this person, this is talking to their state of mind. Because it's saying they're not quite healed enough. Yes, potentially this is a soulmate for you, but this is a warning for you that, okay, so it's a soulmate. Yeah, woohoo, yeah, let's go pick rings out today, but they're warning you this person's not ready for that. This person's not healed. They're still feeling stuck in their life, and it's yet to be determined, and that explains why these two cards came out the way they did. Because let me explain this. I'll explain this to you both ways. The reason they're sideways is because this person is yet to determine kind of who he is ultimately. Okay. Because if they come out in the upright, this is good. The Emperor is taking charge of his life, bossing up, being an authority in his life, and ending some other cycle so that, of course, something new can begin. When it's in reverse, it's quite the opposite. This person's wants to control everything to the detriment of others, or he's feeling out of control and feeling like some cycle is, and therefore some cycle is repeating. So Spirit's saying, yeah, there could be happiness here, and yeah, this is a soulmate, but do you want a project? And I'm not saying to throw this person out with the baby out with the bathwater either, but Spirit's telling you what is kind of going on behind the scenes, just as a heads up. And if you're okay with that, perfect. But I think this person is, because of what's going on, again, stuck energy, is afraid to take a risk to collaborate, meaning get into a relationship, right? Because they haven't accepted that they need to change quite yet, or completed that. Because I feel like he's still, I've got, just looking, sword. I've got a lot of swords here, a lot of mental energy, a lot of thinking, a little bit of curiosity, but mostly I'm just stuck in my head trying to figure out what my happiness really is. And because I'd really like to take action, and I really don't want to walk away from this thing that I've basically invested in, which I think is basically back to what you said about this inheritance. So this almost feels like somebody who's stuck in crying over spilt milk. Can I just say that? All right, let me catch up here with your comments for a second. Yeah, I might have missed something. Hello to, oh my goodness, I don't want to pronounce your name wrong. Meryl Duarte. Did I get close anywhere in there? Okay, you're saying, no, you don't want a project. Yes, one thing I promised myself I wouldn't do again. Spot on. Okay. Well, it takes, I'm not fast reader, but I get there in the end usually. I mean, this is just, pardon me, again. I mean, that's just really, really dominant. This energy, this kind of stuck on this new opportunity that he wants coming in here, and I don't think it's happened yet. Okay. I know that it's not particularly the optimistic thing, so all I can tell you is there is definitely potential here. There is potential here. So I'm not going to tell you what to do. Of course, I wouldn't do that. It's not my place to do that. But Tara wants you to know what you're getting in for and what you get into. You're saying, thank you. It's hard. I've been patient with empathy. And I feel that's true. And that's why you make him happy. The word I'm getting is warm. There's like a warm fuzzy that he gets when he thinks about you. Soothing. You're soothing to him. And he sees the potential, but then all this other's in the middle of that. But between the soothing and the getting to the actual relationship that I know you want, there's a project. So I hope that makes sense. It feels, again, it's not a no, it's a, you got to know what you're getting in for, what you're signing up for. Oh my goodness. Lotus, I do hope that helps. I'm wishing you luck with that. I tell you what, I'm going to ask one other question for you. Let me do that. Is there an adjustment? And if so, what adjustment could you make that would possibly change the dynamic or trajectory, potential trajectory for you? Mish, thank you so much for being here tonight. I love you to pieces. I'm sending you a big hug, honey. Thank you, thank you. Give your boys a hug for me, please. I appreciate you so much. Okay, is there an adjustment that Lotus Palm can make in this relationship? Let's see. Oh. Move on. Now that doesn't necessarily mean leave the person, but that's a pretty darn powerful card to fall with that question. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. It means move on to, the literal meaning is moving on to calmer waters, leaving choppy water behind, moving on. But the question in this card is, or the statement rather, I should say, this is a forced departure. To tell you the story here, this person is being forced to leave where they've been, being escorted out, like the security, whatever, put in this boat. Now, remember, swords represent thoughts and mental activity and maybe things that, betrayals, even because they're the way they're positioned in the deck here. So this person has suffered a lot of this, and the theory is they're moving from choppy waters into the calmer waters of the future. Now, this particular deck, usually you see choppy waters down here and calm waters up there, but that doesn't look too calm to me. Furthermore, more importantly, when this person gets to the destination they're going, they cannot bring those swords with them. They have to make the choice to leave those mental choppiness swords, those mental negative thoughts behind them. They can't take it with them. So I think this is saying, either you got to change how you're thinking about the relationship and your point of attraction being in alignment with somebody who's, if you're in alignment with just your frequency, rather, if your frequency is aligning to someone who's balanced, who's free, who's unselfish, who's not a project, then you're going to attract somebody like that, or this person then shifts into their awakening and becomes that person. It's all about you. It's never about the other person. It's only ever about you and your point of attraction. So Spirit is saying, what is that for you? Are you going to stay in this choppy waters? Can you do some manifestation techniques to help you move out of this so that you can leave those swords behind you? So this is just, I talk about manifestation a good bit here on my channel, but I don't harp on it every time I do a reading. So when I get something like this is saying, oh, by the way, you need to tell this person they have a part in the outcome of this. They have a part in how this play plays out. You're the author of this play. And essentially, if you believe that you're a powerful creator, which you are, So you just have to tell a different story. No, my person is finally putting all that in their past. My person is finally bossing up. My person, Craig in this case, they're getting it together. They're moving on. Tell the story like you want it to be. And then you will move to calmer waters either with this person or without them. But it's really about you. Where do you want to be in this scenario, right? Because I think you've gone into the cave and you're coming out the other side with your inspiration, and you're deciding that you don't want to be a part of anything. This isn't about Craig. This is about you in general. That you don't want to be involved in something that's not stable. You don't, or somebody who didn't have any money, maybe even. Yeah, that's imbalance. You don't want that. You've been there before, I'm hearing. Yep. And, because I think I started, if I remember correctly, if I have my reading sorted in my mind, I started out saying something about there could have been, was that this reading? I said there could have been a third party or something. And I said very clearly, but that doesn't mean another person. So that situation with inheritance and how he said, that is the third thing. And it's overwhelming, or could be. Okay, well, I'm not going to harp on that, but I feel like that's what Spirit wants you to know in terms of what you can do for you, right? Okay, let's see. You're saying, oh, yeah, well, that's been on your mind. Well, that's good. See, Spirit's just confirming that you're getting the messages through. It's coming through for you. Listen to your intuition. Absolutely. You are very welcome. Thank you for being here, and thank you for purchasing a reading. Thank you, guys, because without that, why would I be on YouTube on a Saturday night, right? To help support you guys and help bring you clarity and messages. So thank you very much. I appreciate you. Oh, you did? Well, God bless you. Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate that. Normally, I don't know if there's just normal anymore. I don't know what that is. Let me change that. Typically, I go live on Sunday nights, but I couldn't do that this week. Just be sure you have your notifications turned on so you know when I'm going live. Oh my gosh, you're so sweet. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Well, I don't think I have anybody else. And Joseph, you might know, I don't have anybody that's waiting for a reading, do I? I think I'm caught up. I believe. And if so, then I think I will call it a night. Okay, good. Let me check my PayPal just to be sure, because when I have my device silent, sometimes that doesn't come through. 1 second. Oh, come on. Yeah, okay, that's good. We're up to date. All righty. Perfect. There it is. All right, guys, thank you. I think this will do it for me tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you, especially my fabulous moderators. Joseph, I'm sending you a big hug. Hoping you're having a good weekend, doing something fun somewhere, or not, just enjoying a quiet evening alone. That works for me these days. I'm just saying. I may put my glasses on now, but that's hang on a minute. Oh, thank you. Yes, meditation. Okay, yeah, me too. I gotta fit that in more. I used to do it so regularly. I used to meditate an hour every day for years, but change is a part of life. You've had a productive day? Good, good. Me too. I ran a bunch of errands today. I went, got a gift card for a family birthday. What else did I do? Oh, I had brunch with my son. He took me out to brunch this morning. That was sweet. got myself some gloves for working out. I had some old ones, couldn't find them for the life of me. What else I do? I did, groceries, all the stuff. It was an errand day. Okay, guys. Well, I'm going to wish you a very good evening and a fabulous rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys soon. I'm sure, Joseph, you saw that I did the career and love reading for members because I know you're there. So if you haven't checked that out, you might want to. You may have seen it. I just haven't caught up on my comments. Okay. I'll see you guys later. Many, many blessings, everybody. Take care. Bye. Happy Saturday.